Tesla is following the market down this morning, not that much, but a bit, even after posting really good numbers in China. There's an investigation starting into a steering issue that could be part of the reason that spirits are a little low this morning regarding Tesla. It's not a huge deal, but it is seemingly a bit more of a real deal, Overall, the tech stocks are starting out down. We're seeing a broadening out of the market, somewhat maybe out of tech. And we will have to have that correction at some point. I know I'm the optimist and you come here for positive news, but I also have to talk real. I hope you appreciate that. All right, this is Randy Kirk. Please hit like. I appreciate you guys coming out early in the morning and being part of this. And then please hit subscribe and notify. I've got the regular characters lining up now for interviews all this week. Herbert Ong is first up. He is a really fun interview that you're going to have around noon today. And then, of course, Patreon, you've got the deal right now. You can join Patreon and get a free audiobook. Just pick any one of the four. All right. According to Sawyer Merritt, you can now schedule your pickup and drop off for service on your app, and then also track the service as it's going through. That's a very cool new feature. Nobody else has that. I can tell you that for sure. Tesla has raised their loan interest rates by about 50 basis points. So now if you have good credit, you can get 6.09, just a tad over 6% on a 72-month loan. That's better than a mortgage, but it is essentially a price increase. That must mean that Tesla has some fairly good feelings about their backlog right now. Let's see, I'm just going to miss here. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, I'm sorry. I got it. All right. We are now in the busiest earnings week. I lost my place. We are now in the busiest earnings week of the season. We got Apple and Amazon coming up later this week. So far, the results have had about 80% beats. They were mixed this morning. You've got almost everybody hit their earnings numbers or beat their earnings numbers, but you had some of the folks that missed on the revenue side. So that might be affecting some of the market slide this morning. Guidance was generally rosy from all the folks that reported this morning. And as I mentioned, the rally seems to be broadening out this week because as you get lots and lots of good results from all these different companies, then people that are stock pickers are going to start, wanting to buy more of some of the companies that may be underpriced. And might be looking at some of the tech companies as being at least well priced, if not overpriced. So, as mentioned, though, we will be looking for profit taking, some kind of correction. These things are going to happen. And that's what I think we're going through this morning. Not a correction, but just normal profit taking. This is a big one. America's first new nuclear reactor in 7 years starts operations. I'm going to be doing a serious deep dive on the energy generation situation. I'll probably do one on my own, and then I think another one with Brian Wong. This energy generation issue now, Elon has brought it up. That's one of his big topics right now, is we do not have enough energy generation. So I've taken a deep dive. I'll be doing something on that maybe later today, maybe tomorrow noon, but that's definitely coming. So recently, Elon Musk, when he was interviewing Robert Kennedy on the X Spaces, he says, this is what Elon said, not Robert Kennedy, but Elon said, I do want to voice my opinion. In my opinion, actually, nuclear is very safe. If you look at the actual deaths from nuclear power, they're minuscule compared to certainly any fossil fuel power generation. They're minuscule. The fear of nuclear is very high. I think this concern, it's not clear to me why the insurance companies charge so much, but I think that modern nuclear plants are extremely safe. And I would actually, although this goes against a lot of people's view, I'm actually a believer in nuclear fission. So I just want to state that for the record, and we can move on to something else. So Elon has said many times before, he really believes that nuclear is part of the solution. He believes that green hydrogen is part of the solution. Again, I'll be taking a deep dive on this. So we've had yesterday I mentioned actually one of the commenters in my comment episode last night mentioned that we've had this huge run up in gold, silver, and copper. Guess what? All three this morning are getting crushed. Oil is also off but still high, still above 81. So maybe we're starting to top out on some of those commodities that have seen the big run. I mean, gold and silver being crushed this morning. The 10-year is headed higher. I'm thinking this might be to do with the fact that we're going to have a large treasury issuance coming up. I mean, it's a really big one. There might not be enough folks that are wanting to get that issue. And so that would mean underlying bond prices would drop, and that means the yields increase. And this may be an anticipation of that large treasury issue. I'm generally looking for these yields to start heading down because trueflation is now heading down again. As I predicted, trueflation is headed down. It's at 2.27 this morning, and the all-important food and beverage is now going down again after being strongly up. But transportation is the one holdout because oil, being over 80, is definitely affecting that. So if we could get the transports to start heading down, then we would have, maybe we get down to 2% on trueflation. A more significant sounding issue for Tesla this morning, as I mentioned, U.S. auto regulators said Tuesday that they've opened an investigation into 280,000 new Tesla Model 3 and Model Y vehicles over reports of a loss of steering control and power steering. So that's, this is a more significant issue than we're used to. It might be something that could be handled with an over-the-air update. Not enough information as of this morning to know. Teslarati says this morning, Lee's Auto recent report, which was posted by the automaker on Weibo, Tesla China saw 10,600 registrations this week ending July 30th. That number represents a 37% improvement from the 7,700 that were last week. With their most recent estimate, Tesla China appears to have sold about 31,000 vehicles from July 1 to July 30. That would be pretty good for the first month and a quarter. Tesla Inc. is seeking, there was another, here we go. Chinese EV makers, in addition to that, NIO, XPeng, and Xpeng, anyway, people pronounce it all different ways, and Li Auto on Tuesday reported combined deliveries in July of 65,600 vehicles. That's a record, up more than 100% over last year. So good news on the China front. Tesla is, Tesla is now seeking $100 million from the U.S. to build 9 electric semi-truck charging stations along a route from the southern border of Texas to Northern California, according to emails seen by Bloomberg News. So there's an interesting one. Tesla now looking to get into the superchargers or mega chargers for the semi-trucks. A lot of little notes this morning where the India talks seem to be getting pretty serious, getting down to minutia, detailed negotiations. That looks good for the India situation. Uber Technologies were one of the reporting companies this morning. They were moving up nicely this morning after the ride-hailing company posted its first everly quarterly operating profit and gave good guidance going forward. So that's good news for Uber. I hope they're ready for the transition into automation, because otherwise this will be a very short-lived good news for them. Tesla is down this morning. Well, it was down this morning. It was bouncing around the 265 level. If it breaks down below this 265, 264 level, we could easily go back to 255. If we have any kind of a correction in the overall market, I see Tesla possibly going as low as 217. I don't expect this. I want to say that clearly. I do not expect Tesla to go below 255, even in a correction, but it could happen. That's all I want to say about that. Also, I've recently noted that Tesla Energy is another $100 billion company. It has taken Tesla almost 20 years to get to $100 billion. And yet Tesla Energy will probably be at $100 billion in sales within 3 years. The market has no idea. There's another Tesla within 3 years. So these downward hits that Tesla is taking in this particular market, in this particular time, to me, they make no sense at all. We should be headed towards 300 with no stopping, and maybe we will be. I continue to believe that within 2 weeks, we will be bouncing up very, very close to 300. All right. So, and for those of you who are worried about these ups and downs in Tesla, This is normal. This is what, you have to come to expect this. It used to happen to Apple. It happened to Amazon. It especially happens to Tesla because guess what? It's the most incredible company ever and nobody understands it. So let's go on and take a look here. Oh, Tesla is now broken down below the 265, 264 range. It's down $4.54. Looks like it's heading lower. So I would expect a 255 sometime today, probably bounce off of that. Yeah, who knows where it'll close because we just don't know where Mr. Market is headed right now. All right, let's look at the others. We've got the NASDAQ down steeply, 81 down, the Dow up. So there you go. There's a rotation potentially out of the tech stocks into a broader mix of product on the market. Apple, all the techs are down. Apple's down, Google's down, Amazon's down, Meta's down. They're all down. So yeah, it could be some of this that I've mentioned before. On the bonds, we've got the 2-month up strongly, the 2-year up strongly, the 10-year up strongly, over 4% on the 10-year, as mentioned earlier. Now let's take a look at where we are on the crypto is now under 29. That is another, we're seeing a rotation out of crypto. We've got gold strongly down this morning. So again, gold, silver, copper, all down. Oil down, still 81, but now at least slightly right at exactly on 81. Okay, natural gas and also down. Okay, so that's what I got for you this morning. Please hit like if this has been at all useful, helpful for you. And then join Patreon so that you can get a free book. These are audio books that you're getting for free. They're generally speaking about $15, $20, $25 for each one. And then if you want to join at the $50 level, I'll send you an autographed copy of the Elon Musk mission in hardback. So hit subscribe and notify. That's it. I'm done. I'm out. It has been great talking to you.